Good afternoon, sir. You're very much welcome. You will be delivering a keynote address today on the topic corporate economics, how non-financial motivators can boost employee performance during a recession. So I just want to ask, what are the non-financial motivators and how do you think it can boost employee performance, especially in these tough economic times?
As you rightly state, these are difficult economic circumstances, although it should also be stated that the circumstances are improving. The challenge that a tough economic environment poses is simply companies are more mindful of how they use their cash. One, the cash is reduced, and therefore you need to find other ways of keeping people interested, those who work with or for you, keeping them interested whilst the performance of the company improves. So what can you do? There's a study that McKinsey did. I think it's a bit dated now, it's about 2009, but McKinsey did show that people are actually, whilst people are interested in cash, but they're also motivated by non-cash things. For example, recognition is very, very important. Indeed, the McKinsey study that I point to, even though you and I would put cash at the top, but it turns out that non-cash items such as recognition are actually valued more by those who are at work than those for whom they work. And so, exemplary leadership and alignment between what the company is trying to achieve and what the individual is trying to achieve for themselves personally, forget about whether they work for the company or not. These are things that are motivating in themselves. That is not to say cash is not important, but it is not the most important. Cash doesn't buy loyalty. That we all know.
All right. Thank you so much. And considering the state of Nigeria's economy and the overdependence on oil at the moment, do you think it is possible to reverse the trend and encourage productivity within the work environment?
Again, we need to be careful. What do we mean by overdependence on oil? As a proportion of total output of this country, oil is 10%. However, where oil is very important is that it provides more than 90% of total foreign currency income, and it's slightly over 70% of government revenue. So from those two dimensions, yes, we are over-dependent on it, but in terms of its contribution to total output, I'm not sure that over-dependence is anything near. For me, over-dependence is an overstatement. Now, if we're talking about reversing the trends, which of the trends now? Because remember what I've just said, in terms of the total output of this economy, oil is 10%. So if we are now saying reversing the trend of the dependence of FX income on oil and oil almost solely, certainly it's something that we can and we must do. But the way to do that would in part be import substitution and in part export promotion. It's one thing to say, okay, let us produce here what we import. That's important. But we must also be able to connect with the rest of the world by being competitive enough to export to them. So it's a combination of those two things.